One of the things that people want to know is people want to know what the future holds. One of the things that happens is every so often you have a story about somebody, whether it was during the Great Depression or some other area, where somebody's grandfather or great-grandfather ended up seeing the signs of what was going on and took all of their money out of the bank, stuffed it in a mattress, and while everybody else around them was doing very poorly and was having great difficulty, this particular individual ended up having the ability to see into the future, the ability to figure things out, the ability to take the right steps necessary so that while everybody else was in suffering and distress, this person had figured out how to end up boating through the rapids and the difficulty of a really challenging economy. Likewise, one of the things that happens with us is we really want to be a people who understand what the present is, what valued work, that what valued effort, what valued things really matter are, so that we will not spend our time putting energy into that which is ultimately either useless or counterproductive. So with this, when we are looking at our lives, one of the things that we want to know is we want to know what is true, what is real, what can I bank on, what can I really trust. And so in terms of this, it's been this way in every generation with all different types of people. And so if you want to know what's going on in the future, I join you in wanting to know what's going on in the future, because none of us want to invest our time, our lives, or our energy in that which is ultimately going to turn out to have been useless. What is interesting about Yeshua's disciples is that at the point shortly before Yeshua was going to be betrayed, when he had taught, when he had challenged, when he had had an impact across Galilee and Judea, and when he had become the focal point of interest for the nation of Israel in the first century of the Common Era. At that point in time, they are in Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is like New York City today. It is an area of finance. It is an area of trade. It is a religious center. It is an area where the temple is. It is an area where there are other buildings that are extraordinary and past the technology and past the beauty of what's built anywhere else in the country. And Yeshua and the disciples are there. And the disciples take a look at this and they go, how great is the beauty of this place? And Yeshua says, I tell you the truth, a time is coming when not two rocks are going to be upon each other, with the buildings not having been built of wood, but rather having been built of stone. And at that point in time, when Yeshua talks about the transitory nature of what they are looking at, which honestly, it looks like it's going to stand forever, his disciples ask the $6 million question. And the $6 million question is, tell us about what it is going to take to get there and what is going to happen. Tell us the future. Tell us what we need to know. In the next couple videos, I'm going to be taking different pieces of what Yeshua ends up saying as a response to this. And part of the reason that I'm really interested in this, and part of the reason that I'm sharing this with you, not that you've asked, but here it is. The reason that I'm sharing this with you is because an awful lot of what Yeshua talks about in these upcoming verses looks exceedingly like what is going on in our time, in our era, and has been happening over the course of the last 50 to 70 years. And so as I'm sharing this, I hope that this is going to be interesting to you, because ultimately what ends up happening is if we know what to expect, we will be able perhaps not to avoid all difficulty, but we'll be in a position where we'll be able to consider how to invest our time, who we need to be, and what preparation and what understanding we need to go into times that may end up being turbulent and may end up being difficult. Shalom.